There's no magic outside Hogwarts, but is there logic inside? In this video, we are breaking down the most ridiculous rules Harry Potter characters have had to face. We are not shading the wizarding world in any way, so let's have some fun casting the spell that opens the doors to some inconsistencies.
Hello, Hamora!
The Goblet of Fire rules. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is perhaps one of the most thrilling and action-filled books in the franchise. Only daredevil youngsters do not fear the intricate trials and terrifying battles of the Tri-Wizard Tournament. The dangerous and fascinating trials are frequent elements of a decent adventure story, but the Harry Potter universe has added a peculiar detail. Could you believe that there were 17-year-old kids at school that were willing to go through deadly missions, and yet the whole thing was not regulated? Yes, we know Hogwarts has been struggling with safety issues for a while, but the only rule the tournament has is that once your name gets into the goblet, you sign a magic pact that cannot be broken. They are kids after all. How can there not be some regulation which lets the students change their mind about a life-threatening test? What if they get sick or are forced to leave Hogwarts for some reason like normal teens can? Okay, one may say wizards are not normal teens, and we agree, but there was one more reason that should have let Harry pull out from the contest. Dumbledore himself announced that only one participant from each school could take part in the tournament. So why can a second participant from the same school, who in addition is a minor, take part? Surely it's sufficient reason to pull him out of the tournament, since it goes against the rules? It's clear that the goblet was bewitched. Someone cheated. It could have been Harry, Igor Karkaroff, or Voldemort himself. But that doesn't matter, because there should have been a way to deal with cheaters in the game. Burn the rules in the bloody fire! What kind of magic contract is that? Does it really kill kids if they break the contract? If so, for goodness sake, why do they let children take part in this at school? Well, if it wasn't for the plot hole, the movie would end without starting, especially if Harry insisted that he wanted at least 1 year at school studying, or, just being a regular boy. The rules of Quidditch. What I am about to tell you is probably the most notorious oversight when it comes to the wizarding world of Harry Potter, so we can't overlook it. If you think about it a bit deeper, Quidditch is not just one game. There are chasers trying to get the Quaffles and seekers going after Snitch. They both have completely different objectives. It's like having two storylines in a plot, except that they have no connection whatsoever. That's true, one can easily exist without another. Catching the Snitch ends the game and gives you 150 points, so you win the game automatically, because it gives you a disproportionate amount of points. It's clear that bludgers bring a spicy touch of danger, making the game more spectacular. But why do we need Quaffles then? All in all, it would make more sense to use Quaffles and bludgers to play some type of basketball with brooms, or to have Snitch and bludgers to find out who's got more skill on their broom. If only Hogwarts knew about the book Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. The ban to visit another house's dorm. It's clever to keep each dorm separated by houses. In case a troll invades Hogwarts once again, the prefects can easily gather the students they are in charge of and protect them at night. But does it really need to be that strict that even during the daytime students cannot visit the other dorms? We don't see any other common rooms except the library and the dining room, where students can spend time together. It limits their friend circle and sets boundaries when it comes to who you can hang out with. The point of being different is to get inspired by things other people can do and broaden your outlook, isn't it? That also brings us to another quick point. Did you notice that students are forced to eat only at their house's table? They do not place kids by years so that they can socialize. Instead, they just created one more obstacle in front of getting to know the other houses. No wonder Hogwarts has such a strong spirit of rivalry and hatred towards the other houses. The rule of retention, possibly. A couple of plot twists were built around Hogwarts bathrooms, like in the Chamber of Secrets, the Philosopher's Stone, and the Half-Blood Prince. Quite a lot, but we never get to see a bathroom in the dorms. We saw the prefect's bathroom, where Harry opened his egg to the sound of moaning Myrtle's hauntings. But what about the ones in the student dorms? What if a student needs to pee at night and leaves the dorm? Wouldn't they be violating their curfew? On the other hand, if you meet Filch at night in the hall, you won't need to go to the bathroom anymore. The Unbreakable Vow. The Unbreakable Vow is a very crafty and binding spell. It seals the deal between the two parties to make sure that one won't break their promises under any and all circumstances, or else you die. At the same time, it is a spell that would just make things easier, Just imagine how much easier Voldemort's life would be if he did this spell with his followers. Undoubtedly, the Death Eaters fear the Dark Lord a lot, but as we know, that did not stop some of his followers from betraying him. If all of his followers swore their loyalty with an unbreakable vow, he would have easily avoided treachery and spies. So the whole story may have ended completely differently. It's weird that this type of vow exists in the wizarding world, and the darkest of all wizards did not use it to his advantage. The rule of Voldemort's name. Voldemort's poor judgment doesn't end there. The Dark Lord already had a chance to figure that out in the Order of the Phoenix. We are talking about the prophecy that Voldemort was chasing after the whole entire movie. Voldemort already knew the half of the prophecy, after Snape shared the conversation between Dumbledore and Sybil Trelawney. There was nothing new in the prophecy that was revealed to him or the viewer. We knew, just like everybody else in the wizarding world, that only the chosen child was able to kill him from the very beginning.
But I am the chosen one.
But this foolish move doesn't make his followers question his intelligence, let alone his nonsense rule regarding his name. We never hear his followers calling him Voldemort.
Say my name, say my name.
We get why Tom Riddle tried so hard to get rid of his Muggle father's last name. But then why did he force his followers to call him the Dark Lord? He tried so hard to become Voldemort, only for him to want to be called the Dark Lord? The Sorting Hat Rule. This one has not one or two, but rather three confusing points. First of all, do the Weasley family have some kind of reservation for Gryffindor placement? Ron was the 8th in his family, who fitted on the red and yellow colors.
Ha! Another Weasley. I know just what to do with you.
While one family can have strong customs and values that their kids share, anyone who has a sibling knows that brothers and sisters are different. It's just impossible that they all got chosen by a hat to one house. Another suspicious detail? It was never revealed in the books or in the movies how students' paths are predicted by a hat. Even know-it-all Hermione never mentions the spell used by the Sorting Hat. So there's a lot to be questioned about the hat, but the main point is that the students get sorted when they're way too young. Freshmen should be around 11 to 12 years of age at that point. It's obvious that society influences how we form our behavioral habits, so if a badass Slytherin student would be placed in Gryffindor, he would probably become another person. It's a ridiculous rule to decide which students can become or with whom he or she can hang out with at the age of 11. Even college kids get to choose their major at the age of 19. Hogwarts should go a bit easier on the poor teenagers. The rule J.K. broke herself. Yep, this rule has so many plot holes, even J.K. Rowling admitted she was too careless with that one. Of course, we're talking about the Time Turner. As Rowling wrote, the time-traveling necklace is in fact a super dangerous thing, so no wonder McGonagall let Hermione use it without any doubts. Let's not forget that J.K. wrote that one student went so long back in time that she immediately got old when she returned to her present days. So yeah, why not give it to a 13-year-old student? Miss McGonagall also once mentioned that meeting your own self in the past can be very dangerous. But they do not mention it at all in the movie. The Time Turner could have solved a couple of problems in the wizarding world, which would have meant having a couple of plot holes, so J.K. was very glad to destroy them all in the 5th chapter. Anyway, our main problem with the time-turning rule is that one cannot go back into the past to save a life. The Time Turner doesn't allow you to change things in the past. Remember when Harry was like, "It wasn't my dad I saw earlier, it was me. I saw myself conjuring the Patronus before. I knew I could do it this time because, well, I had already done it." Does that make sense? Unfortunately, the cursed child messed up with the rules. Scorpius and Albus changed history entirely using a time turner. It gives them the ability to change the past, an ability the original time turners never had. Sadly, JK broke her own rules for no good reason. But no matter what we say here, we still love Harry Potter too much. What other plot holes did you find in the movies, and which one of them from this list is the weirdest for you? Thank you for watching Awesome Movies, and unless you were under Obliviate spell,